Whoso reciteth this prayer with lowliness and fervor will bring gladness and joy to the heart of this servant. It will be even as meeting him face to face. He is the all-glorious. O God, my God, lowly and tearful, I raise my suppliant hands to thee, and cover my face in the dust of that threshold of thine, exalted above the knowledge of the learned, and the praise of all that glorify thee. Graciously look upon thy servant, humble and lowly at thy door, with the glances of the eye of thy mercy, and immerse him in the ocean of thine eternal grace. Lord, he is a poor and lowly servant of thine, enthralled and imploring thee, captive in thy hand, praying fervently to thee, trusting in thee, in tears before thy face, calling to thee and beseeching thee, saying, O Lord my God, give me thy grace to serve thy loved ones. Strengthen me in my servitude to thee. Illumine my brow with the light of adoration in thy court of holiness, and of prayer to thy kingdom of grandeur. Help me to be selfless at the heavenly entrance of thy gate, and aid me to be detached from all things within thy holy precincts. Lord, give me to drink from the chalice of selflessness. With its robe clothe me, and in its ocean immerse me. Make me as dust in the pathway of thy loved ones, and grant that I may offer up my soul for the earth, ennobled by the footsteps of thy chosen ones in thy path, O Lord of glory in the highest. With this prayer doth thy servant call thee at dawntide and in the night season. Fulfill his heart's desire. O Lord, illumine his heart, gladden his bosom, kindle his light, that he may serve thy cause and thy servants. Thou art the bestower, the pitiful, the most bountiful, the gracious, the merciful, the compassionate. Abdul-Baha.
Every imperfect soul is self-centered and thinking only of his own good. But as his thoughts expand a little, he will begin to think of the welfare and comfort of his family. If his ideas still more widen, his concern will be the felicity of his fellow citizens. And if they still widen, he will be thinking of the glory of his land and of his race. But when ideas and views reach the utmost degree of expansion and attain the stage of perfection, then will he be interested in the exaltation of humankind. He will then be at the well-wisher of all men and the seeker of the weal and prosperity of all lands. This is indicative of perfection. Abdul-Baha.
O essence of desire, at many a dawn have I turned from the realms of the placeless unto thine abode, and found thee on the bed of ease, busied with others than myself. Thereupon, even as the flash of the Spirit, I returned to the realms of celestial glory, and breathed it not in my retreats above unto the hosts of holiness. O Son of Bounty, out of the wastes of nothingness, with the clay of my command, I have made thee to appear, and have ordained for thy training every atom in existence, and the essence of all created things. Thus, ere thou didst issue from thy mother's womb, I destined for thee 2 fonts of gleaming milk, eyes to watch over thee, and hearts to love thee. Out of thy loving kindness, 'neath the shade of my mercy, I nurtured thee and guarded thee by the essence of my grace and favor, and my purpose in all of this, that thou mightst attain my everlasting dominion and become worthy of my invisible bestowals. And yet heedless thou didst remain, and when fully grown thou didst neglect all my bounties, and occupied thyself with thine idle imaginings in such way that I didst become wholly forgetful, and turning away from the portals of the friend, didst abide within the courts of my enemy. O bondslave of the world, many a dawn hath the breeze of my loving kindness wafted over thee, and found thee upon the bed of heedlessness fast asleep, bewailing then thy plight, in returning whence it came. Baha'u'llah.
O Lord, provide for the speedy growth of the tree of thy divine unity. Water it then with the flowing waters of thy good pleasure, and cause it before the revelations of thy divine assurance to yield such fruits as thou desirest for thy glorification and exaltation, thy praise and thanksgiving, and to magnify thy name, to laud the oneness of thine essence, and to offer adoration unto thee, inasmuch as all this lieth within thy grasp and in that of none other. Great is the blessedness of those whose blood thou hast chosen, wherewith to water the tree of thy affirmation, and thus to exalt thy holy and immutable word, the Bab.
O all-sufficient one, thou dost suffice me in every hardship that may descend upon me, and in every affliction that may wax great before me. Thou art my sole companion in my loneliness, the delight of my heart in my solitude, and my best beloved in my prison and in my abode. No God is there but thee. Whomsoever thou dost suffice shall not be put to grief. Whomsoever thou dost protect shall never perish. Whomsoever thou dost help shall never be abased. And he unto whom thou turnest thy gaze shall never be far removed from thee. Write down for us then whatsoever is of thee, and forgive us for what we are. Verily thou art the Lord of power and glory, the Lord of all the worlds. Far be the glory of thy Lord, the Lord of all greatness, from what they impute to him. And peace be upon his apostles, and praise be unto God, the Lord of all the worlds.
In the name of God, the clement, the merciful, praise and thanksgiving be unto Providence that out of the realities in existence, he has chosen the reality of man and has honored it with intellect and wisdom, the two most luminous lights in either world. Through the agency of this great endowment, he has in every epoch cast on the mirror of creation new and wonderful configurations. If we look objectively upon the world of being, it will become apparent from age to age, the temple of existence has continually been embellished with a fresh grace and distinguished with an ever-varying splendor, deriving from wisdom and the power of thought. This supreme emblem of God stands first in the order of creation and first in rank, taking precedence over all created things. Witness to it is the holy tradition. Before all else, God created the mind. From the dawn of creation, it was made to be revealed in the temple of man. Sanctified is the Lord, who with the dazzling rays of this strange heavenly power has made our world of darkness the envy of the worlds of light. And the earth shall shine with the light of her Lord. Holy and exalted is he, who has caused the nature of man to be the dayspring of this boundless grace. The God of mercy hath taught the Quran, hath created man, hath taught him articulate speech. O ye that have minds to know, Raise your suppliant hands to the heaven of the one God, and humble yourselves to be lowly before him, and thank him for this supreme endowment, and implore him to succor us until, in this present age, godlike impulses may radiate from the conscience of mankind in this divinely kindled fire, which has been entrusted to the human heart, may never die away. The Secret to Divine Civilization by Abdul Baha.
Continuing with prayers and meditations of Baha'u'llah, number 44. I swear by thy glory, O my God. Every time I muse on thy glory and thy sovereignty, I find myself as the most guilty among them that have transgressed against thee in thy realm. And every time I contemplate the heights in which none except thee can abide, I discover that I am the most sinful of all the creatures that dwell in thy land. Had it not been for thy name the concealer, and for thy name the ever forgiving, and for the sweet savors of thy name the most merciful, all thy chosen ones had been reckoned among the perverse and the wicked. I render thee thanks that thy mercy hath overtaken them, and thy grace and bountiful favors compassed them on every side. And now, having confessed the things thou didst cause to flow down from my pen, I implore thee by thy name which thou hast raised up above every other name, and hast caused to overshadow all that are in heaven and all that are on earth, to cast not away him that hath turned towards thee, and to deny him not the wonders of thy grace and the hidden evidences of thy mercy. Let the hands of thine omnipotence kindle in his heart a lamp that will enable him to shine brightly in thy days, and to cry out with such vehemence in thy name that no timidity will deter him from soaring in the atmosphere of thy love, and from ascending to the horizon of rapture and longing for thee. And that the pursuits of thy creatures will not withhold him from magnifying thy word, that thou mayest behold him sanctified as thou wishest, and beseemeth thy majesty and glory. Baha'u'llah.
Lauded be thy name, O my God, and the God of all things, my glory and the glory of all things, my desire and the desire of all things, my strength and the strength of all things, my king and the king of all things, my possessor and the possessor of all things, my aim and the aim of all things, my mover and the mover of all things. Suffer me not, I implore thee, to be kept back from the ocean of thy tender mercies, nor to be far removed from the shores of nearness to thee. Aught else except thee, O my Lord, profiteth me not, and near access to anyone save thyself availeth me nothing. I retreat thee by the plenteousness of thy riches, whereby thou didst dispense with all else except thyself, to number me with such as to have set their faces towards thee, and arisen to serve thee. Forgive then, O my Lord, thy servants and thy handmaidens. Thou truly art the ever forgiving and the most compassionate. Baha'u'llah.
O Son of Earth, wouldst thou have me seek none other than me? And wouldst thou gaze upon my beauty, close thine eyes to the world and all that is therein? For my will and the will of another than me, even as fire and water, cannot dwell together in one heart. O befriended stranger, the candle of thine heart is lighted by the hand of my power. Quench it not with the contrary winds of self and passion. The healer of all thine ills is remembrance of me. Forget it not. Make my love thy treasure, and cherish it even as thy very sight and life. O my brother, hearken to the delightsome words of my honeyed tongue, and quaff the stream of mystic holiness from my sugar-shedding lips. Sow the seeds of my divine wisdom with the pure oil of thy heart, and water them with the water of certitude, that the hyacinths of my knowledge and wisdom may spring up fresh and green in the sacred city of thy heart. O dwellers of my paradise, with the hands of loving kindness I have planted in the holy garden of paradise the young tree of your love and friendship, and have watered it with the goodly showers of my tender grace. Now that the hour of its fruiting is come, strive that it may be protected and not be consumed by the flame of desire and passion. Baha'u'llah.